Hey, what's going on, peoples? What's happening? Listen, um, it's the day after Father's Day, and I hope that we all, you know, understand the meaning of that word. You know, Father means that you're not going to always get things your way. Fatherhood means that you're going to sacrifice. Uh, and a lot of times you're gonna give up the battle so that you can, you know, maneuver yourself for the war. God, if you understand what I mean by that, you understand. If you don't, you know, um, you might want to ask. Basically what is that every situation doesn't deserve for you to get riled up about. Man, let it go. Um, we get caught up in a lot of different things, man, and we got a lot of things that are on our shoulders, and sometimes people just don't understand because the one thing that you identify that as a man you're not going to get all the glory. You're not going to get all the glory. Um, it's going to be some times that you're going to get the bad end of the stick. But you keep going and you keep striving and you keep doing and you keep providing and protecting and you try to do all of those different type of things. So, we got to understand that's the space that we're in right now. And a lot of times we just don't get it. Today, I'm doing a Fuente and Yeho. It comes out twice a year. Um, Pretty much twice a year. It's aged tobacco. And that's once you start really doing this thing, that's what it's about. It's about smoking good product, um, understanding the notes of good product, understanding what it is that you're trying to achieve from smoking money. We can get caught up in a lot of different things, and the thing about it is that we got to continue to keep pushing forward. We got to continue to keep pushing forward. We got to continue to keep pushing for your goal and your dreams and your admirations and all of that. Don't get deterred from people that come into your life and try to put you in spaces where you didn't ask to be in. You don't want to have someone put you in spaces where you got to sit here and focus on what they're going to do and what they're about to do and how they're going about doing that thing, and because that's not going to benefit you at all. And it doesn't matter whether or not how much you try to be straight up and straightforward and all that kind of stuff. People are going to be people. They're going to disappoint you. They're gonna laugh. They're gonna do all of these things. They're gonna be negative about anything that you're trying to do, because it doesn't make sense to them, because it's not their idea. And that's the thing that we have to understand and realize, that sometimes when you're presenting something to somebody, what people are doing is they're investing in you. They're investing into you, what goal it is that you got, because they feel so strongly about it, and they know that you're gonna do right. That's when they'll come in and say, listen, I know you've been trying to grind this out for a minute. Hey, here's the support and help that you need to do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out here and let's make this money. Uh, but you got to put yourself in those those kind of circles where you can be around that. Unless you got, X amount of cash that's sitting around that you can, do that, the average person can't. The average person is not in that position. So you got to go about trying to find other ways to get your investments out there, to get people to believe in what it is that you're trying to do, and your concept. Some people will come through and they'll say, hey, I see the vision, but like I said, because it's not something that they thought of or they can understand, it can make them be weary about trying to do something in that manner because they don't know enough about it. And then, the other thing that I've come across in that is that, when you start trying to make moves based upon what you're trying to do and how you're trying to go about doing it and the amount of liquidity that you are trying to, reach out to get, a lot of people don't think that it's going to be worth their while. Because if you're looking at something that's small, because you only want to get enough to the point where because you got to end up paying everything back. So if you want to get enough to the point where, hey, this will be enough for me to get what I need to get, I got my mechanicals all included into that. This is what I need. I'm going to grind it, go from there. Well, they're going to look at, if it's $50,000, $60,000, they're going to look at like, okay, well, what type of return am I going to get for that? Because it's not going to be worth my time or my money, to be honest and truthful, because of the amount that you're looking at trying to do. Now, you can go out there and you can get a lot more money, but that comes with a lot more issues and concerns, because that vig on that is going to be a nice size, and you're going to have to make sure that you get them what they're looking for back in a certain amount of time, whether it is 12 months, 18 months, 36 months, whatever you guys work out, that's what you're going to have to stand by. So you got to kind of maneuver it and work it. That's why they say a lot of times with small investments, they always say, hey, try to go through friends and family. Unfortunately, a lot of times, we're not in positions where we have family that can give in that manner. And then if you're not in if you're not in a circle of friends that has that kind of liquidity, it's going to be difficult. So what do? You can go about trying to find grants, but then you got to find a grant writer. So you got to find a grant writer. You got to be able to go out there and do that. And these are the things that I wish that we had more networking on. These are the things that I wish that we had more opportunities. And we're talking about true opportunities to the point where as people can sit back and they can say, hey, I got, if you look at Fiverr, Fiverr got all of these different type of things that you can go out there and you can get. And they probably have some grant writers and things like that on there. But I'm talking about that you can sit down with. They understand the concept of everything that you're trying to do. And they can get you in the right direction. Because a lot of times, we got the drive. A lot of times, we got the desire. We got the implementation. We got all of that. We just don't have access to information. And information is king. And I don't care what nobody sit here and tell you. If you got information, that means that you a step ahead of the next person, that's with you. Because a lot of people don't have that. They don't have access. They don't have information that they can go to. They don't have think tanks that they can go in. And we're talking about legitimate think tanks. And I'm talking about think tanks to the point where, hey, listen, we love the idea. Come back with this, do this, and do this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in front of this, and this. And look at it from a standpoint of saying, hey, okay, whether or not they're charging you a fee for it, because there are some people out there that charge you fees for that. And they'll try to get a percentage of what it is that you're going against. Now, you got to be very mindful. You know, if you're dealing with a person that's going to try to charge you a percentage of what, for them to go out there and get you your money, that can be a violation in regards to your plan. Because if your plan states that you're asking for X amount of dollars to do this, and this, but you got $3,000, $4,000, $10,000, $20,000, $25,000 going to this outside entity for getting you that money, you need to make sure that you got something kind of worked out, because you're going to have to be allocated for it. You know, so you got to make sure that you are very wise at how you are going about doing your work. Get your, you know, if you're dealing with anything that's dealing with sales, make sure you get your branding together. You know, you got to get your branding together. You got to you got to really sit back and think about, where do I want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You know, a lot of people will always say, well, you know, what if your business don't make it? But I got a better question. What if your business do make it? Are you prepared to deal with what's getting ready to come once you do make it? Because a lot of times people don't. You know, you don't have anything set up as far as the protection. Do you know about S corps? Do you know about LLCs? Do you know about C corp? Do you know about all of these different type of things? Do you know about trusts? And if you don't know about these type of things, you need to do your research and go out there and try to find information, because it's all about preparing you. It's all about preparing you. You know, how are you going to go about doing your taxes? You know, how are you going to pay your taxes? You got to be knowledgeable of all of that. What's your tax rate? What are you looking at in regards to taxes? You know, how are you going to be able to create, tax credits? You know, who can you give to that can give you, you know what I'm saying, those credits that you need? Who can do that? You got to be able to identify those type of things, and it comes with research. So, if you got any questions and concerns, if you get opportunity to try the Fuente Añejo series, please do. Please do. Smoke well, my friend.